Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is basically a non-review chat. Or better, it is a question. So, I have been playing around with the idea of falling back on what my natural long-term experience is with, and that is sort of a political current events type deal. A playlist where basically I just take a topic out of whatever the day's news is and expand on my thoughts about it. So I don't know how that would play with people. I'm not sure if I want to do that, if it's not going to be received well with my core viewers. So basically the question is, would you be interested in seeing something like that? If so, just write yes in the comments section. If you're not interested, you don't really need to say anything, unless you think it's a bad idea for some reason. Okay, unless there's some danger that you perceive with the idea where, we may be overrun here with a bunch of inner city hipsters blowing freaking vape clouds and spilling Starbucks coffee all over the place. If you think that's a possibility, then let me know. Or anything else. The videos themselves would be playlisted separately. I would not be changing the focus of this channel. The focus would remain the same. They would be playlisted in a separate playlist, and there would be no schedule. They would be whenever I felt I had the time or was inclined to make one due to something I feel was pressing. They would be conservative leaning, but they would be at the same time fair. I try to give credit when credit is due, even if it is to someone that or some idea, or somebody of an idea, better yet, that I do not agree with. So this all came about today because, surprise, surprise, the Trump campaign wasn't in Russia's pocket. Personally, and this is another thing too, you may not see even people that are like, oh, conservative, I'm going to agree with that. Yeah, I have a sort of third position conservativeness when it comes to things, so there may be some things that you don't like. I critique what is around me. And sometimes critiquing what is around you doesn't put you on even footing with other people that think what's around them is fine. So, and that's really all I want to say on that. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump. I'm not saying I'm a Democrat, obviously, but I don't like his style. But I also, at the same time, realize that he is a Manhattan real estate developer. So although I don't like quite his personal style and how he acts, I also have to concede that that's how all Manhattan real estate developers most likely act. No collusion. 22 months investigation. No collusion. And that brings up questions, and that's what this is partly about. This is not so much me telling you what your thought process should be. It's more me sort of nudging you to ask questions about certain things. So my question when it comes to this is, well, there's two that come to mind. One, at what point during the 22-month Mueller investigation did people start going, you know what? If our federal government at the highest level was compromised by a foreign power, I think we would have heard about it by now. Like, at what point did that 8 months in? 12 months? 15 months? Did we get to 20 months with people going, there might not be anything to this? I mean, it's been 20 months. Number two, the left. Why is the left so convinced that the government of the United States could be so easily compromised? But they don't, do they? Or do they? I don't know. That's the thing. This is just questions to be asked. Do they actually think that the federal government, the executive branch of the federal government, could be compromised by a foreign power and it would take 22 months to hear about it? Does anybody actually believe that? Because if they do, I digress. The left hates this guy, and they think they're rebelling against... They think they're rebels. They're not rebels. They're just foot soldiers for an establishment that has been basically running this party through two parties. This country through two different parties. Basically, at the end of the day, in the modern age, when you have neoconservatives and Democrats, basically you have two halves of one party. There's just two wings now. And that is straddled by the business elite, or the upper echelon of, let's say, billionaires, obviously, but it's basically what people would refer to as the 1%. They have a foot in either. Now, lately, over the last 20 years, they've been favoring the one side, which happens to be the Democratic Party at this moment. But that's only because, with the exception of Barack Obama, you had 2 terms of George W. Bush, and then now a Trump term. So they're always going to play the opposition off the standing. Anyway, stuff like this is what these videos would entail. So at that, leave a message in the comment section, yes, if you'd be interested. If you're not interested, you don't have to leave any message unless you thought there was some danger in doing this. This is not something to add a lot of content to the channel. This is not something that will be taking over the channel. This is not something I think will boost subscribers to the channel. This is just something I naturally do anyway on a day-to-day basis on other platforms, and I thought, why not? Somebody might be interested. The videos will not be listed, so I don't know if anybody outside of subscribers will see them, but they will definitely not come up in search engines if that was your concern. Anyway, I do hope you all are well. I am not doing any review tonight, but before the Wintergreen series starts, I will be doing 1 dry snuff review, 1 chew review, and I am playing around with a beginner's video or a surprise standalone product review. I'm not sure which one of the later two there. So I do hope you all are well. Do take care of yourselves, and as always, God bless.